Wow, just wow. I am at a loss for words because I just witnessed a massacre, I just witnessed a bloodbath, and I just witnessed a genocide. Man, I was literally gripping my teeth every single time I was watching each minute pass by in this episode. I was pulling my hair out of my own arms because of how stressed I was when I was watching this episode, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I was literally thinking about crashing out because what I witnessed is so crazy. It's so unbelievably insane that I am still thinking to myself, I am still pondering on the thought that damn, they really pulled this off, and they pulled it off so accurate that I am so baffled. And you're probably asking yourself, yo, big bro, why are you so shocked? What did you just witness that is so crazy and insane that is causing you to nearly crash out? And I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. The Invincible series, specifically season 3, is so comic book accurate that damn, I am not even gonna lie to you. My reaction to this season is,
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
YouTube, please do not demonetize my video by saying that, because this season 3 is so good. It's like a 10 out of 10 chef's kiss, because the writers, the producers, whoever is actually in charge of this show, they really love the comics. They really love the source material. Now, I know that season 3 has some comic book inaccuracies like Shrinking Ray, because in reality she was supposed to have died, but she's still alive. But I don't really hate that, to be honest with you. And her relationship with Rexplode is not comic book accurate, but their relationship adds a good charm to the show, and especially the lead up, especially the build up that will happen in this episode I'm talking about. In episode 7, we will be seeing the relationship of Rexplode completely be exploded, no pun intended. And man, I'm just actually so shocked because they copied the entire source material from Invincible issue 60 and issue 61, word for word, bar for bar, one to one. These niggas, they really love comics, and that's why I really love Invincible season 3, because you know, DC and Marvel recently, over the last 10 to 15 years, they are trying to actively shy away from being comic book accurate. Now, you know, you have some little outliers recently that can still be comic book accurate and still be entertaining to watch, like Green Lantern the animated series, that was really comic book accurate, and other shows. But man, over the last 15 years, we have seen from the DCEU and from the MCU that Marvel and DC just hates the comics. They just want to change everything from the comics, man, and I am tired of seeing that. I miss the era that we used to live in, where we had Batman the Brave and the Bald, we had Batman Year One, Justice League The New Frontier, Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2, and Superman Batman Apocalypse, and we also had Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Spider-Man the animated series, and X-Men the animated series. Man, we used to be a proper country, in my honest opinion. Now, I know all of these comic book adaptations that I listed, they had some little comic book inaccuracies, but those inaccuracies were so little and were so minuscule that you would actually not even notice, or you would not even care. That's what I miss in DC and Marvel. I wish DC and Marvel can embrace the comics again, and they can actually do good adaptations that are almost exactly identical to the comics, man. But Invincible, they are really running away with this. They literally took the trophy of being the most current comic book adaptation, and they are just running, man. They already won the race, because this entire episode, I'm not even gonna stretch it, I'm not even gonna lie, I can't lie to you, man. My right hand is on the Bible. I am not capping right now. Season 3 episode 7 is so comic book accurate that it made me really love this episode. I think this episode is my favorite episode right now. I can't cap, because the episode starts off and we see a near identical side-by-side scene when we see a flashback of Invincible after he killed Angstrom Levi, and he is basically pondering the thoughts of finally taking someone's life. He never wanted to kill someone up until that that point and we see him say, oh God, oh God, oh God. He's repeatedly saying this, and we're seeing Angstrom Levi, his brains are just splattered across the ground. He is basically dead, but we are soon to realize that he is actually not dead. And with the little power that he has, he successfully teleports himself back to his base where the mechanics are creating all of his armies and his tech. But we see Angstrom Levi, he gets repaired, and they sew his brain together. They integrate his brain with technology, and Angstrom Levi, he is coming back with a vengeance. Now we skip to months later and we see Angstrom Levi, he is not playing. Angstrom Levi, he is fully repaired. He is back with a vengeance. He is back with a lust to not only kill Invincible, but to ruin and stain Invincible's image in the public eye of the entire world. And the way that he does this is that he recruits 17 to 18 evil Invincible alternates from the multiverse. He recruits all of these evil, maniacal, power hungry, and just King Von affiliates. I think all of these niggas, they are King Von incarnate, bro, because they are so evil. And Angstrom Levi, he unleashes this army onto the world. But like another scene that is one-to-one with the comics, we see Invincible and Adam Eve, they are just sitting on the bed and they are thinking about what just happened recently. They are talking about Powerplex's whole rhetoric and whole motive on killing Invincible, and Invincible is pondering if Powerplex had a point. But this is interrupted because Cecil, he is contacting Invincible and Adam Eve. He is telling them that this is an Omega level threat. We need all hands on deck. And like another scene that is one-to-one with the comics, we see all of these Invincible variants. We see Mohawk Invincible, Sinister Invincible, Thraxen Invincible, Prison Invincible. We see all of these Invincible just wreaking havoc. Now, there is one little scene that is not comic book accurate, but I cannot fault them because I'm pretty sure they do not have the rights to these characters. Even though Spawn and Fire Breather are from Image Comics, I don't think this show necessarily has the rights to those characters. So they replaced Spawn with Wolfman and they replaced Fire Breather with some other hero. But I really love that they kept my boy Tech Jacket, man. They kept my boy. But bro, this entire scene, this entire series of events is so accurate, man. My mouth is foaming. I can't even lie to you. And another scene that is really comic book accurate, when Invincible, he finally reaches the scene, but this is just one little scene because the entire world has been invaded and are being attacked by these Invincibles. Now, Invincible by himself is very, very strong. He's the most powerful person on the planet. So imagine 16 to 18 to 17 variants of Invincible. This is a potential world-ending event. So Invincible, he battles Mohawk Invincible, and I really like that they kept the same dialogue, the same setting. And I like that they kept this same scene when Invincible, he slams his fists into Mohawk Invincible's ears, and this knocks out Mohawk Invincible temporarily. And then we see some heroes, they are trying to stop this assault, but they actually mistake Invincible for one of these variants and they attack Invincible as well. And during this, we see that this place is the Stronghold Penitentiary, and who else is in the Stronghold Penitentiary? Powerplex. And Powerplex attacks one of these Invincibles, and he attacks Mohawk Invincible as well. But Powerplex, he not gets knocked out. That's slightly different to the comics because Powerplex in the comics, he just went away after this encounter. But bro, we are noticing that these Invincibles are literally King Von. They are Satan's greatest soldiers. They are an army of King Von. Do you know how scary that is? Imagine having an army of generational crash outs just trying to destroy the world just because they can, just because they want to. This is really the worst nightmare you would ever want, man. And we're seeing how the entire world is affected. I really like this shot that they did where we see Invincible's mom, and we see all of these characters. They are watching the news and they are seeing that, damn, this is crazy. And now we are looking and we see a scene that is one-to-one with the comics. We see Britt, Cecil, and the entire robot army. They are basically mangled, they are defeated, they are just bloodied because they narrowly escaped death by killing the Thraxan Invincible. And Cecil, he tells his consultant that he needs to warn every single active hero that are currently operating on the entire globe. They all need to come together so that they can have an army of their own to battle these Invincibles. And bro, this entire episode is literally just word for word, bar for bar copied. You would think that's lazy, but no, I think that's brilliant. I think that is the best possible way that they could have actually did this episode, because you have to make it comic book accurate. We're looking at all of these Invincibles. They are just killing all of these heroes. They are destroying these heroes. They are just manhandling these heroes. And we're seeing Omni Invincible and another Invincible. They are fighting Invincible and Adam Eve. And Adam Eve, she is so overwhelmed with the sheer power of Omni Invincible, and because when she was trying to defend herself from getting attacked, Omni Invincible's strength was so strong that it was just shattering her shields. And when she tried to flee, they just basically decapitated her leg. They basically handicapped her temporarily, man. Invincible had to transport Adam Eve to the medical facility because Adam Eve, if she would have stayed in that battle for at least a second longer, she would have died, man. So Invincible had to flee. But before I continue, I have to talk about Rexplode, because earlier in the episode we see Rexplode and Shrinking Ray, but Shrinking Ray, she actually wants to move and retire from the Guardians of the Globe, while Rexplode still wants to stay with the Guardians of the Globe. So he is just helping her move into her new house. But even though Shrinking Ray retired, the hero life will never leave you, because this entire assault on Earth, it now reaches them, and this causes Rexplode to go into action. Shrinking Ray was about to go as well, but Rexplode told her that no, you have to stay here. Don't worry, I'll be back. But that was so sad. I knew that Shrinking Ray was never gonna see Rexplode again, because when we now see what's happening with Rexplode and members of the Guardians of the Globe, that includes Monster Girl and Robot, they are just getting beaten up. They are getting battered. They stand no chance against these Invincible variants. And Rexplode, man, he nobly sacrifices himself when he tells Robot to get Monster Girl out of here. So Rexplode, he is basically trying his best to just defend himself, but it's not gonna work. It was never ever going to work. So Rexplode, he actually concludes that yup, this is where I'm gonna die. So he grabs his own skeleton and he explodes himself, killing the Invincible variant. But unfortunately, this also kills Rexplode, man. So RIP to my boy Rexplode. I really like that they copied that scene word for word, bar for bar. But bro, all of this is actually happening in not just one day. This is happening in a span of 4 days, man. So by day 4, we see Invincible. He's at the side of Adam Eve's bed and he is crying. He is just so shocked. He doesn't know what to do. Then Cecil comes and tells Mark that, look, you have to go out there. The world needs you. Remember, Mark, he's still hesitant on working with Cecil. So he tells Cecil, you already have all these heroes, man. They can help. I need to stay by Adam Eve. If I don't, they will come to her. They will come and kill her. But Cecil tries to convince Mark to help, but Mark is not trying to help, man. And I really love this next scene that they did. They really read these comics. They really used these comics not as a crutch, but they used these comics with care and with love, because we see all of these Invincible variants: Sinister Mark, Vultramite Mark, Mohawk Mark, the other Mark, Prison Mark. We're seeing all of these marks. They're just flying in the air. They are hovering and they are just looking, and they are confident with what they have just done. They are proud in destroying the entire world, man. And Angstrom Levi now says, okay, phase 1 is complete. Now prepare at the location that I told you to go now, because I am coming. prepare for my arrival. Then when Angstrom Levi comes and he tells these Invincibles that you guys need to bring Mark to me, you need to go and do that right now. But Angstrom Levi, he lied to these Invincibles because he promised every single one of these Invincibles different promises. And Sinister Mark, he is leading this coup of Angstrom Levi because Sinister Mark and all of these Invincibles that are including Prison Mark and Mohawk Mark, they don't want and don't care about Invincible. They just want to conquer the entire multiverse. So they want to go to other universes to conquer, and that is what Angstrom Levi promised them. But since now Angstrom Levi is seeing that, oh shit, these niggas might just kill me right now, Angstrom Levi, he thought quick on his feet and he now transported these Invincibles to a different universe. So as this happens, we see that Mark, he is crying still at the side of Adam Eve's bed. But Cecil tells Mark that we know where Angstrom Levi is. So Mark, he picks up his mask and he flies into action, flies straight to Angstrom Levi. They begin to fight. This scene was so good because they accurately portrayed this scene by making Invincible trying to grab and to get a hold of Angstrom Levi, but Angstrom Levi's tech is too much for Mark for now. But Mark, he now eventually overcomes this, and when Mark, he grabs Angstrom Levi, finally we see that kid Omni-Man comes there and he tells Mark, you have to kill him. If you don't kill him, he will just continue to do this again. And now we're seeing Mark, he says, yes, okay, you have gone too far this time. And when Mark, he's about to kill Angstrom Levi, Angstrom, he creates a portal and he now evades death. But before he evaded death, I really love that they kept this scene, man. Mark, he grabs Angstrom Levi's hand and Angstrom Levi's hand now gets cut in the portal. So that's 1-to-1 with the comics. And then when Angstrom Levi, he now goes to his home base, we see that his mechanics have turned on Angstrom Levi because Angstrom Levi promised them something, but Angstrom Levi did not live up to his promise, whereas they actually lived up to their promise. So they tell Angstrom Levi, if you want us to fix you, if you want us to repair you, you work for us now. Now we are going into issue 61 and we're seeing that the aftermath of the Invincible War is crazy, man. It's devastating. Over 120 plus thousand people died. That is crazy, and the numbers are still counting. And now the world are scared. They are scared of Invincible because, you know, the common person will not know that Angstrom Levi is behind this. So we see that Invincible is still at the side of Adam Eve's bed, and Cecil comes to Invincible and he tells Invincible, okay, look, we need to go with these other heroes to help clean up. But we see Powerplex, he comes and tries to crash the party. He tries to attack Invincible, but they quickly subdue him. But when Powerplex is subdued, he now tells everyone that is in the near vicinity, this all happened because of Invincible. This is Invincible's fault. Everyone that died is because of Invincible. And that is partially true. That is so fucked up, but it is partially true because even though this is not Invincible's fault, Angstrom Levi would have never did this if he would have never encountered Invincible. So that's crazy to actually think about. So Invincible goes back to Adam Eve's bed and we're seeing that Invincible, he is still crying, man. But I really hate Adam Eve's parents, man. Fuck them. All my homies hate Adam Eve's parents, especially the dad, because that nigga was a dick. He was an asshole. He just walked past Invincible and he says, hey, you're not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up, nigga. After everything that happened and after your daughter is about to die, you're still hating superheroes, bro. But I like the mom in this encounter because she actually tried to have a heart-to-heart with Invincible. They had a good yet awkward talk, but the dad, of course, being a big hater, he shut that down. But we now look and see that Duplicate, she's at the side of Mr. Immortal's bed, and Mr. Immortal, he proposes to Duplicate that we should retire and I want to marry you. But after that happens, we see a scene of Cecil. He's gathering the remaining heroes of the Guardians of the Globe and he tells Invincible that I want you to be the leader of the team. Invincible, he denies this because he says that I am not fit for a leader right now. I'll just help out on cleaning up. I am not fit right now, Cecil. So when Invincible, he leaves the room, Cecil Cecil catches up with Invincible, and he's still trying to convince Invincible, but Invincible says, you're the last person I want to talk to you right now. But before Invincible leaves, he now says thank you, because Cecil said, if you need to talk, you can just come and talk to me. But after this is probably my favorite scene out of the entire episode, because this is building up the most disgusting, brutal, and gory fight we will see thus far in Invincible. Because when Invincible, he is cleaning up the wreckage, man, we see the GOAT, we see the Dawn, we see Conquest, and he says, stand ready for my arrival, worm. And Conquest is so menacing, man. You can just look at him and you can see the aura. And Conquest tells Invincible, you have failed your mission. Now I am here to clean up your mess. I am here to basically enact the Voltrum Empire's ambitions on terraforming Earth. So Invincible tells Conquest that, look, I don't have time for this right now, but I am mad as fuck right now, and I need someone to hit. And then I fly to each other, and man, the episode ends, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen in the last episode, the season finale of season 3, and that is going to cover issue 62 and 63, the fight between Invincible and Conquest. Bro, this entire episode 7 of season 3 was 10 out of 10. I'm not lying, I'm not capping. This episode is everything I want comic book adaptations to be. You have to accurately adapt the story you are doing. You have to adapt the same panels word for word, bar for bar, because that's what fans really want to see, especially comic book fans. We don't want to see a bastardized telling, a bastardized depiction of our beloved characters. We want to see them for who they really are, and that's why I really love Invincible season 3, man. This is a goated season, I can't lie, and this is the best episode of this season thus far. But that's the end of the video, man. Y'all have to check out this episode and this season. I'm out. Peace.